Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick,
I'm Dominic.
and we are here to do an oral history of the Archie Sonic comics. I wrote a script. Dominic has not read that script, and we're gonna go and we are going to talk about Sonic issue number 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog number 2. Triple Trouble, Part 1. Writer, Michael Gallagher. Pencil, Dave Manock. Ink, John DiAgostino. Letters, Dan Necrosis. Colors, Daryl America. Editor, Daryl Edelman. And Editor-in-Chief, Rich Ow H2O.
Do you think Daryl did both of those things? And there's a legal reason why he couldn't say he did both, so he just made up a pseudonym of Daryl America.
That's a great name. I kind of love that name. that's like a wrestler name.
Yeah, no, it's definitely low-key a superhero name that's a fascist.
Okay, we open on a classic. Robotnik, filled with rage, throwing darts at a picture of our beloved hero, Sonic the Hedgehog. His aim, clouded with rage, misses the target and sticks to the wall, with dozens of darts already stuck in the wall. While his aim may be lackluster, his power is not. Each dart stuck in the wall has cracked the very foundation it is stuck in. Robotnik, as always, is cooking up an evil scheme. Though we do not know what the scheme is, Crabmeat wishes to join in on the fun and asks to help destroy Robotnik's nemesis. Robotnik, disappointed in the performance of Crabmeat, decides he could be of some use. Here we are introduced to the newest of Robotnik's robo-slaves, a robot monkey named Coconut. His appearance is essentially a regular brown monkey wearing a jumpsuit with a light bulb on his head. Coconut climbs the coconut tree conveniently placed in Robotnik's office and throws a coconut at Crabmeat. His aim, not clouded by rage, but instead is clear, cold, and calculated. Coconut's power seems to be this: throwing exploding coconuts from coconut trees. An interesting robot to create in a world where plant life is being eradicated daily. Here, Robotnik's evil plan is revealed: to send Coconut after Sonic. Later that day, Sonic and Tails are going for a morning jaunt when suddenly an explosion happens between Tails and Sonic. Tails and Sonic stare at the gaping hole, confused as to what just happened, when Sonic notices something coming at them. Sonic leaps towards Tails, pushing both of them into safety as an explosion happens right where Tails was standing. Sonic looks up into the trees and sees Coconut, holding a coconut. Coconut throws another coconut right at Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Tails dodge. Tails, now furious, starts running right at Coconut. Sonic, however, has kept a cool head and formulated a plan. Sonic grabs Tails before he can do anything, and they run off. Coconut, up in the tree, scans the forest. Not seeing Sonic or Tails, Coconut decides to sit down and rest in the tree. Confident that Sonic and Tails have run off, scared for their lives. Suddenly, the tree starts shaking, and out falls Coconut. Coconut, determined to win the heart of his robot master, quickly gets to his feet and throws a coconut at Tails. Tails starts spinning his tails and bounces the coconut back at Sonic, with the monkey in the middle. Sonic and Tails keeps bouncing the coconut back and forth in a dangerous volley, when Sonic finally jumps up and spikes the coconut down at Coconut. A while later, back at Robotnik's headquarters, Robotnik sits at his desk that is branded with a giant R on the side, looking out onto Robotropolis. Plumes of smoke covering the sky. Enter SWATbot carrying a package for Robotnik. He rips and tears the package open, excited to be receiving a package, even if the sender is unknown. Inside the box lay the head of his beloved Coconut. A reminder that the freedom fighters are willing to go to extremes to send a message. In the corner are two shadowy figures angered by the death of their friend. Their features covered in darkness. Their outlines could only be described as a chicken and a tank with a drill for a hand. End of part 1.
My only regret is I didn't say coconut in the middle instead of monkey in the middle. I like, as soon as this, like, you started talking, I was like, I fucked up. That was a good joke. You said coconut 23 times.
You counted it, didn't you, right? Beforehand?
Yeah. No, I didn't count it
Oh,
beforehand.
you're counting now?
Yeah.
Were you? I see tally.
I literally
have tallies.
At first, when I was trying to write this, I was like, how do I not use the word coconut so much?
No,
But,
you didn't gender coconut. That's good.
well, I meant more, yes, that is good. No, I did say him once, I think.
Oh, okay. Fascist.
Yeah. Well, all these robots are males.
That's true.
No.
That's a problem with Robotnik.
No, the only time there's been a female robot, she was scantily clad, scantily dressed in the casino in the last
Oh my
issue.
god, you're right. Yeah.
So when Robotnik,
What if that was a trans robot? Like, he built it male, and the sentience of the robot was like, no, I am a girl. Which, good for them. Good for them.
I mean, more. Why is he gendering this robot?
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts so far on part 1? Not a lot to work with.
Well, just from the basic conceit that he built a robot monkey that throws exploding coconuts.
That like seems to only be able to throw the coconuts out of coconut trees. I haven't seen him throw.
Oh my god, where does he get his ammunition?
Yeah.
From the trees.
That he's like destroying, or is he making robot coconut trees?
No, I don't think he's doing that. No,
But they explode.
It's not explored in this part.
It's not explored in this part.
but like it. Yeah, are the coconuts not predestined? Are they built to explode, like manufactured? And
do all these coconuts have the destiny to explode?
Or does the monkey the coconut? Damn it! Does the monkey actually like throw it with such force that it explodes? No.
Ooh, that's cooler.
No, because there's shrapnel, right?
Well, but okay. We're getting in the nitty and gritty of this. How does Sonic play monkey in the middle with a coconut that's been exploding if it's not like from the force of throwing it down? Right? It's not timed, because if it was timed, Sonic and Tails would have blew up.
Yeah, it's on impact, right?
Yeah, it's got to be on impact. Does it know when it hits the ground? Is there sentience?
Is it plasma grenades from Halo, where like it knows when to stick to an enemy and when not to, when to bounce around?
Yeah. These are the questions I want answered. There's so many plot holes already.
You won't get them. All I know is that this is the stupidest. This is the stupidest conceit for like an attack robot.
Well, also like,
why is he modeling it after nature though? I thought he was anti-nature.
Well, no. So I don't know. I always thought it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. I don't know why I'm like, I think it's to taunt, right? To taunt the animals that are still not under control of like Robotnik. Right?
Yeah.
Like
later on this will be known as roboticization. Which we'll explore somewhat soon.
Wow,
in the preceding
Mr.
issues.
I know everything about Sonic.
You watched Sat? Did you watch Sat-Am?
Years ago.
Yeah,
I don't really.
I remember that from the VHS specifically. They might not even say roboticization in the comics. I don't know yet, but they do. That's the term in the cartoons.
I will say these Coconut is a beloved character of Sonic the cartoon show, so it does feel like these characters are being forced into the writer's hands, and I wonder if they had to
incorporate it.
Incorporate it, yes, but I wonder if there were certain restrictions imposed on them which made it so they couldn't do anything really interesting with the plot, because the plot is just, hey, go attack Sonic with this coconut.
That's a question for Michael Gallagher.
Yeah, we should call him sometime. You don't have him on speed dial?
No one else is doing this, so you know what?
Honestly, I wonder if we could.
We'll get there. We'll get there, friend.
Join our Patreon that we haven't started to crowdfund.
What's the first? Go back to the first page, the actual page, and like see, is it coconut or coconuts as the name?
Oh,
plural or singular?
It's plural.
Oh, okay. I'll incorporate that. Okay, that makes sense because I remember that from the cartoon.
I'm trying to see if. No, I'm not.
It's plural.
Plural. What a weird thing.
That's okay.
Well, that's how you can tell the difference between the coconut and the coconuts.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. Triple Trouble, Part 2. Robotnik, frustrated by the destruction of coconuts, destroys a mint in the box Sonic action figure. Enter Scratch and Grounder. Scratch, a tall, skinny mechanical chicken leader of the SSSSS, the super special Sonic Search and Smash Squad. Grounder, an evolution of Drillbot, a tank-like robot with drills for hands, a drill for a nose, and tank treads instead of feet. Grounder and Scratch, who are non-identical twins, receive the order to destroy Sonic. They confirm with the insult, "Yes, oh overweight one." Grounder and Scratch leave Robotnik's office, and as soon as the doors close behind them, Grounder receives a phone call from the phone that is embedded in his chest. Scratch picks up. Robotnik is on the other side of the line, reminding them that if they fail, the price they pay will be deadly. Scratch seems to be one of the smarter robots Robotnik has created. He has purchased a book, How to Track a Hedgehog, which one would think would be part of the employee handbook that is given to you when being onboarded to Robotnik Incorporated. Scratch and Grounder march forward towards the Great Forest, when Grounder falls face first into a trench that is assumed to be created when Sonic goes at a certain speed. Grounder gets his bearings and turns his drill hands into propellers and helicopters his way out of the trench. Scratch and Grounder have formulated a plan. They will follow this trench to Sonic. Unbeknownst to Grounder and Scratch, Sonic and Tails are watching them from afar. Sonic planted a fake trail assuming there would be more Robotnik robots after him after his Godfather-esque message he sent Robotnik. He was correct. Sonic instructs Tails to run off to Knothole Village while he deals with these machines. Scratch and Grounder follow the trench to a cliff. They look off the edge, realizing that the trench was probably a trap, and, in Looney Tunes fashion, thought Sonic's plan was for Scratch and Grounder to simply walk off the cliff following the trench. Of course, this isn't Looney Tunes. That's good writing.
I know.
Sonic leaps out from hiding and spin dashes towards the cliff, cutting the cliff in half and having Scratch and Grounder presumably fall to their deaths. Grounder, who seems more like Inspector Gadget with each frame of this comic, pulls a parachute from where his drill hands used to be and floats safely to the ground. Scratch falls and lands flat on his face. Sonic stands at the top of the newly shaven cliff, arms crossed, yelling at Scratch and Grounder to go home and tell Robotnik he's lost. Of course, if Sonic knew Robotnik well enough, he'd know that failure was not an option. Grounder holds out his drill hand. His drill opens and out shoots a rope. The rope shoots up to the cliff and wraps itself around Sonic's neck. We are now 2 for 2 of Sonic comics of Sonic getting choked. Sonic is desperately trying to pull the rope off of his neck, but Scratch yanks the rope and Sonic plummets to the ground. Sonic is on the ground, hurt, but in the process of recovering. Scratch, thinking his plan is a success, says, "My plan worked perfectly! I will now subdue Sonic! Robotnik will honor me!" Which seems to be at the heart of all these robots' goals. To be loved by the one man who can't love them. Grounder is gobsmacked at Scratch for trying to say that Sonic's defeat was due to Scratch's plan and not Grounder's. They start bickering as twins who disagree. Sonic, seeing an opportunity for an attack, starts running around and around Scratch and Grounder, creating a trench around them. Standing on the island that Sonic has just created, fear enters Scratch and Grounder's mechanical hearts. The island collapses, and they are entrapped by dirt, unable to move. Just then, Grounder's phone rings. Sonic, being the pal that he is, picks it up for Grounder and lets Robotnik know that the line has been disconnected and to have a nice day. Sonic runs off, happy to have defeated Robotnik again. Scratch and Grounder lay buried on the ground, forgotten. If only Grounder had some tool that could help dig them out. End of part 2.
Yeah, so it's really interesting that Grounder is pretty much Inspector Gadget, and he just has a bunch of tools like embedded in him that I feel like he should be using more. Like, they don't I don't know how he has a phone in him because you know what? I'm looking at it now. His drill hands are the phones. So so it's like a very old style phone.
A rotary. Okay, yeah,
like a rotary phone where you put one up to your ear and the other drill that he puts up to his mouth. So he's talking like that, which is actually very funny. That's a funny bit. But like, man, that guy can do anything. He's got ropes. He's got parachutes. He's got drills.
It becomes like a running joke of like, what is he going to pull? It is Inspector Gadget, straight up.
Yeah.
And it does run into the logic problem of, well, like, do you have a gun?
Well, yeah, why didn't you put that in there?
Just like do the gun and just shoot the hedgehog.
Why does he have 3 drills? He should have 3 guns.
Yeah. Why did you shoot a rope and like try to
like choke
hang
him out?
Sonic?
Yeah.
Just shoot him.
What a weird. Why is that happening? Why?
This is the second time. Yeah,
2 for 2 for. I'm not counting the prequel comics.
Right.
Like
the first panel of issue number 1 is Sonic getting hung. Like he's being hung by a rope.
Mm-hmm. And now we got Sonic getting. I feel like someone has a crush on Sonic and a certain fetish. That's the vibe.
Is that where it started? Is this where it started? It's like you can't blame the fan base for it. It started with the original creators of the comic.
The writers that had they were probably given no instructions, and they're like, you know what I like? Choking.
You know what just recently happened here in the early 90s?
What?
Race riots in Los Angeles.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, but neither did the people of Los Angeles.
Both the implications and the race riot themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I wonder, I feel like I was saying this earlier, if this was like just kind of imposed on them, because this comic feels very
like Scratch and Grounder. The character Scratch and Grounder.
Exactly. And
it's very action oriented.
Yeah, it was when I was writing this, it was really, I'll say the first comic was super easy. It all came natural. And this one I was like forcing myself to say things just to like make it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, this is what, 14 pages of pretty much like just action, pretty much
pure action.
Yeah. And then that's coming up, but the next one's even worse. So
but yeah, do you also want to talk about how Sonic's solution do you want to talk about this now? Sonic's solution for everything?
I feel like I needed we'll come to that.
Okay.
I should have been writing down notes. Foolish me. So when Sonic runs, he makes a trench?
Yeah, that was a trap.
Yeah, but the implication was this was like a normal thing. Like they saw the trench and they were like, yeah.
They probably inferred it, right?
I mean, but like you infer it from it happening all the time. Like I feel like low key Sonic is destroying do we know it's called Mobius yet? Have they used the word Mobius?
I don't know.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
This unknown land that Sonic is running around, I feel like he's like slowly destroying it with all the trenches he's creating when he runs.
Yeah, but that's natural. That's like, that can fill up quickly. That's okay. Like animals do that in nature.
Yeah, but these were deep. No, this trench was like 6 feet deep.
I'm sorry, I didn't know there was like an unspoken of like ordinance in nature to not dig further than 6 feet.
There's a difference between like a chasm you can fall into and a like small little mole making like a 6-inch hole.
Beavers.
What?
They like chop down.
They're making dams.
Yeah, they make dams. Like they really like terraform the whole area. That's a major.
They earn that. Name some other animal that can just make trenches as they run. No one. No one is as fast as Sonic. Sonic alone needs to be put down.
Oh, so you're on Robotnik's side.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's an environmentalist at heart. Why do you think he's making all these robot animals?
Yeah, why is he doing that? I think Coconuts is roboticized. But no, I think Coconuts is shown to like explode and be like his head was in a box.
Oh, I interpret it more as like I can make these better than you.
Oh, like perfecting nature?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that checks out because it's like I'm superior over nature. Mm-hmm. We're gonna perfect it, but I'm still gonna like make like rubber. It's like the concept of rubber plants.
Yeah,
right.
Real man versus nature story here.
I don't know if that's exactly it.
And then Sonic's story is nature versus machine. That's one of the archetypes, right?
That's the Matrix, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. That's man versus man. Man created machine. No, it's man versus God, right?
Man versus self is what we're doing right now. So
I've never seen The Matrix.
No, yes, you have. Shut up. Don't even do that for the bit.
I'm gonna make people think I've never seen a movie before.
You've literally, he just collects them because of the art.
I don't watch them. I think it just impresses people.
So it's like it's like in college where like a frat boys will like get like Uncle Buck posters, but they've never seen Uncle Buck, or like Scarface.
Well, and Uncle Buck is a weird one to get a poster of.
It shows that they're funny. But
I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never seen it. That's why I get books. I mean, I don't read them. Reading's for fucking nerds.
There you go.
So we're on Sonic One Shot in the beginning.
We see a series of prototype Sonics. They are the following. Sonic is bent over with back pain saying, "Oh, my aching back!" Chronic the Hedgehog. Sonic is conducting an orchestra. Philharmonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is whining, "I'm the star! My way or the highway!" Histrionic the Hedgehog. Sonic is growing plants. Let's grow plants in zero gravity. Hydrophonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is listening to music with sunglasses and a peace sign around his neck. Wow, like groovy daddy-o. Stereophonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, that's...
I don't get this bit.
It's a pun. It's just puns.
Are they puns though?
They're puns. Not Sonic the Hedgehog, but
Onic.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly just got it.
Wait, you were reading these? You didn't like map that out?
No, because I was like, because I saw Philharmonic and I was like, that doesn't rhyme with Sonic. Stereophonic doesn't rhyme with Sonic. There's too many syllables.
You're like third grade level of rhyming.
Hey, I don't read, man. Reading's for fucking nerds.
What's this comic?
I hire a guy to read it to me. I don't have money, but because I give it to this guy to read the comics.
Like 70% of this medium is the visual aspect of it.
No, I mean he holds the pictures. It's very like
it's like true slow like storybook read. Oh my god!
I'm like sitting on a carpet. He pulls up a chair. I'm sitting.
This sounds way too involved. How much is this on Taskmaster? Jesus.
I mean, trust me, guys are weird. Okay. You can get it cheap.
Got it. Here we go. Oh yeah, this story. Here we go. All right. Vertigo a Go-Go. Written by Michael Gallagher and penciled by Dave Minock. Sonic is running around, collecting magic rings that are lying about. As he's running, he sees a cluster of rings. He darts to grab them, but before he can, a spring shoots him up into a hole in the sky. Sonic falls into an area that seems undefinable. There is no floor, no walls, just space. Sonic looks around and sees two men with arrows on their shirts. They introduce themselves as Verti-Cal, aka Cal, defined as a taller, skinnier man, bald with a single hair at the top of his head and an arrow on his shirt pointing up and down. Horizont-Al, aka Al, A wider, shorter man with an arrow going across his chest horizontally. Just as they are done introducing themselves, Sonic begins falling into the void. Cal and Al show up during the fall. Sonic screams for help, but Cal and Al refuse. Sonic falls into another voidless room, this time without color. Sonic demands to know if they are working for Robotnik, but Cal and Al insist they have never heard of the man. Sonic realizes that he must be in another zone by grabbing all those magic rings. Cal and Al confirm this and state that playing with magic rings is dangerous. Sonic falls again, but this time into our dimension. Cal and Al then appear and state that if you want to see more Al and Cal, send the writers a letter stating that. The end.
This was such a weird comic.
That was really, really weird. And like to go off in this direction in the second issue is really off-putting. I'm okay with going off like something that I appreciate when writers or creators do this is that when they make like, hey, this is another dimension. But instead it's like a dimension that's like, this character is blue. That's it. That's like the whole thing. Well, instead of green, right? But no, that's like, this is like a random point in space, and these two characters are just like, they have complete manipulation of it, which implies a lot, and they're still humanoid, but still, it's very different. But it's so jarring here in issue 2.
Well, and so I feel like it's important to realize, so when you think back to part 1 and part 2 of the last issue that we read, those were 7 pages each. This one was 6 pages, and I felt like there was like barely anything I can talk about. Yeah. It's just
this whole issue has been so action-packed in a not a great way.
Yeah, and so Sonic, like it's literally Sonic goes into this zone, which I guess is like another dimension. That was the thing that like confused me. But they specifically used the word zone, so that's why I specifically used
and there's no setup.
Cal and Al are weird. They look kind of carny.
They do.
They're very colorful. The zone that Sonic went to was also very colorful. It's hard to describe because like there was no floor or anything. It was just like in space,
which is all right. I kind of like that concept. Like, hey, here's a way to one up Sonic, or like to put him in a space that he's not dominant in, which is to. You know, he needs to run, but he needs like a floor. He needs gravity. So what happens when you put him out of gravity, or at least pull him out of a space where there absolutely is no floor? Okay, that's cool. That's a subversion. But we're in issue 2. In issue 2, and it's not much has been. There's no like emotional charge to this space yet.
Also, like
to this diversion.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like,
and they don't really do anything with it other than Sonic gets annoyed, which of course he would be. There's not really an exploration of the character in a different setting. Out of their elements. And also horizontal and vertical, that's kind of...
I hope we never see him again.
We know for sure this is not... Well, I don't remember an episode of this in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I think this is completely unique, created by the comic writers, which is a damn shame. Because, like, yeah, if they...
Well, this feels like it should be animated. This feels very animated.
Absolutely, 100%.
So...
Yeah. I do appreciate that one panel, very end of Evangelion.
Are you specifically talking about the close-up of Sonic Eyes?
Yes, extreme close-up of Sonic Eyes. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if I wanted to talk about this or not. So there's a close-up of Sonic's eye, and it is as he's falling and freaking out. It's like weirdly detailed in a way where nothing else is detailed in this whole comic. It's close up on his eye, and it's just the one eye, his right eye. It's zoomed in, and you just see the red lines like all over his eye as he's like falling and freaking out and screaming. And what I can only assume is he thinks he's going to die.
It's a really good shot.
It is. It feels like it's from a different comic.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It like I'm not joking when I make a reference to Evangelion. It's very reminiscent of that hyper close up of Shinji. Yeah,
that should be the thumbnail for that episode.
I did do thumbnails. I'll show you the thumbnail for the first episode.
Okay, I'm not joking. That should be the thumbnail for episode 2.
Okay.
Are we going to start doing thumbnails for every episode?
Oh yeah, for the YouTube upload. Yeah, 1000%.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, dumb diversion. For like, this is not a one shot. That felt like
It felt like a one-shot.
An extended one shot or something, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but you know what I mean. All right, here we go.
A two-shot.
Foiled again. One shot. Sonic and Boomer sit Sonic on a chair, insisting that this is all the rage. Sonic seems hesitant. Sally pulls out some foil, hands one side of the foil to Boomer while she takes the other, and rams the foil straight into Sonic's face, leaving an imprint of his face in the foil while Sonic is knocked out. There's a stack of 74,999 pieces of foil waiting for Sonic's face imprint, for he is making the cover of the foil comics.
I mean, I guess that's... honestly, that's probably like the best bit so far.
Yeah. It's very slapstick in a very simplified way.
Yeah.
It implies that that they use a printing press.
It implies he's the printing press.
Yes.
Actually, I think they have a printing press down in Not Whole Village.
I think they would. I think they reference at some point later on, like a newspaper.
In literally the next one shot.
Yeah. I like how we talk about, like, we've been using a lot of like animation terminology or like visual, like TV terminology. Okay. Sally's pinup, one shot. Picture of Sonic stealing Sally's pinup, saying, "Don't tell Sally," with him thinking a heart symbol. End. Sonic's pinup, one shot. Picture of Sally stealing Sonic's pinup, saying, "Don't tell Sonic," with her thinking a heart symbol. End.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a cute visual. Let me say that. I didn't do it justice by just talking about it.
You mean I didn't do it justice writing about it?
Either way, in an purely auditory medium.
Yeah, no, it's hard to describe this one. Honestly, I didn't understand what was going on. I stared at this for like 2 minutes.
Really? You didn't immediately understand it?
No, I was just like...
They drew a heart and everything.
Yeah, no. The guy reading it to me did a poor job explaining the context.
Do I need to bring you to the Art Institute and be like, "Hey, Nick, what does that look like to you?"
The pinups?
No, not the...
They got a pinup gallery? I would have gone to the art museum years ago if I knew that.
That'd be sick, though.
Okay, next one.
Two-timer. One shot. Sally is in front of a box of eggs, asking Sonic to wait while she cooks for him. Sonic instead says, "Think of all I can accomplish." He cleaned up the litter from the Freedom Fighter parade, repaired the holes in the wall from the Burrowbot invasion, and delivered all 200 newspapers to the residents of Knothole, all while Sally made a hard-boiled egg.
So, okay.
That's some ADD energy, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. This one, I have problems with this one shot.
Okay.
So, okay. First off, there's a Burrowbot invasion. So does Robotnik know the location of that whole village?
Yeah, that's a bad implication. They're lucky that one-shots are not canon. We're not counting them as canon.
I count everything as canon.
Okay, we agreed last episode that they're not canon.
I know. That wasn't canon, though, that episode.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And then, well, I guess if this isn't canon, then my complaints don't make sense. But I'm like, this isn't a complaint, but do we think there's 200 people in Knothole Village? Or do you think there's only 200 people that are cultured enough to get the newspaper in Knothole Village?
Ooh, I think the second one, because, and again, not canon, but they made 75,000 stacks of the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic. No, that doesn't count though, because it's like meta.
What, or they're selling that to the robots also. There's still capitalism in this world.
That's true. Robotnik programmed all these robots to like know what capital is, or like think in that mindset.
Exactly. So maybe they have like
every robot has a Sigma grind set because they want to keep. Yes, look at Scratch and Grounder. They were all like they were fighting amongst each other in a very like hyper competitive.
Yeah, for the love of Robotnik. Yeah, 100%.
For the daddy CEO. Pretty much.
Like that.
No, but I do like the theory that like, yeah, there's only 200 of these motherfuckers that can read.
Yeah.
So
but also cleaning up the litter from the parade, that implies a lot of people, because there needs to be people in the parade.
I got a little scared reading this at first because they're all animals. I'm like, he cleaned up the litter. Oh, from the parade. Okay.
I did too, actually. I was just like, wait, he's cleaning up people's litter boxes?
No. Yeah.
Also, I mean, the real Sonic energy here, which I really like, is clearly Sally just wanted to spend 2 minutes with Sonic, and he's too much of an idiot to realize it.
Ain't that the truth?
That is definitely something I would do, and something a lot of people, I'm sure, listening would do.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to go for a walk to do this chore? It's like, no. You do that chore, and I'll do this one, and we'll get it done in half the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I wanted to flirt. I'm like, that does not compute.
Yeah, I don't. Never.
Also, hard-boiled egg. Who's laying these eggs?
Ooh. I don't like that.
Me neither. Up next, all the males about Tails, a one-shot. It's time to air your opinions on how everyone's favorite fox earned his 2 appendages. Buddy Mosley of Tucson, Arizona, Tails' ancestor was owned by Charles Dickens.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt here. I don't get this. What does he mean by owned?
Oh, yeah.
And so the little comic that they drew for this, is Charles Dickens. He's writing and he's saying it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And Tails is there. He's like, good start. Call it a Tales of Two Cities. But like, I don't know what they mean by owned by Charles Dickens. Does he mean employed?
Does he employed or did he breed?
I don't know.
Tails?
I don't know. I don't like.
We
that
know
one.
that we recognize the pun is a tale of two cities.
Yeah, no, I got the joke. It's just I don't get the joke.
Think about it for more than a second, and it's like, yeah, what's going on here? Jimmy McGrath of Jacksonville, Florida. Tails is a mutant talking to Professor X. That's a pretty cheeky joke. I kind of like that.
And he's wearing a fun little superhero costume with a T on the chest.
And then you don't see his face, but it's Professor X with his Professor Xavier in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I didn't like the wordage here or verbiage.
Oh, yeah, which is
on the next one.
Okay.
But I kept it because I was quoting.
Yeah, right. Connor Mooney of Binghamton, New York. Tails was the loss leader at a carnival freak show. The loss leader. So he lost the most.
I don't...
Okay. So like a carnival freak show, Tails was a freak.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, but because he was the least interesting freak.
Yeah.
Therefore, no one wanted to see him, and he lost the most like viewers.
I don't know if that... A loss leader... is something to get someone into the place.
I completely misunderstood. It's like the Costco hot dog, where it's like, yeah, we're losing money on this hot dog being only $1.
Yeah, I think everyone wants to see Tails, and everyone else is like, eh.
Thank you. Yes, that is what that means.
But so this is how I'm about 90% sure they're just making these up.
Oh, 100%. Oh my god!
Like no one's writing in because what kid is using the word
lost leader? Yeah.
Connor Mooney of Binghamton. What?
Binghamton. That's why I did a double take too.
Yeah,
it's like, I wanted to say Birmingham, but no, it's Binghamton, New York.
They probably made that up too. If you're real, write in, call us. I want to talk to you. Who taught you the word loss leader at a young age?
If you're from Binghamton, New York,
call in.
Call in. Call into a pre-recorded podcast.
Dude, I want to get like a Google Voice number or something and just have it like...
It's possible. It's very possible.
It's super easy. And just have it so people can just call in whenever.
That's awesome.
I want to talk to the fans.
That'd be sick. We have Discord for that now, but nah.
There's something about calling.
You're right. The live aspect of it.
Yeah. Honestly, very tangent, but I want an analog phone. I want an analog phone that people call into. I can do it. I have the technology.
Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. Next one. Chelsea Hale. Interesting name. H-E-I-L. Chelsea Hale of San Jose, California. Tails was created in the lab of Dr. Frankenstein. Does it say stain?
S-T-A-I-N.
Like Berenstain Bears?
Yeah. Maybe this is a Mandela effect.
But they wrote it in.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bit here, really. It's just in... Yeah.
It's like, you're a freak! Carnival freak show. All right. Tom Kilrow of Tega K. They're really... If they make these up, they're really like throwing darts at a
Well, that's
map.
how you do it.
Yeah, that's true. Tom Kilrow of Tegakay, South Carolina. Tails actually has Antoine's tail.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that. That's actually a funny bit.
It's a different tail.
Yeah.
Coyotes have... What kind of tail does a coyote have?
Normal ones.
No, but really, visualize a coyote. What kind of tail do they have?
Okay.
Don't look it up. Just, what do you think it is?
Isn't it puffy?
Are you sure you're not thinking of Wile E. Coyote?
No. Of course not. I would never think of
Because I was thinking of Wile E. Coyote.
cartoons as my reference point for real animals.
Or Ralph Wolf.
I don't know who Ralph Wolf is.
It's Wile E. Coyote with a red nose.
Oh.
From the Sam Sheepdog cartoon.
Oh, sure.
Who is technically a different character. But Chuck Jones was like, I don't give a shit.
That's a good bit. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's puffier, but now I'm going to look.
You look that up. Here's the last one. Jimmy Ford of Shirley, New York, sent the theory of evolution?
He just sent in the theory of evolution. I don't know.
That's lame. Sent I don't like the wordage of that.
I don't either.
There could have been a good joke there where it's like, hey, like if they draw Darwin.
It's puffy. I was right.
It's puffy?
Yeah, I know my animals.
Well, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it puffy? It's not like super puffy, but it's a little puff. It's got poof. It's a poofer.
Sonic received a letter asking, "Why are you always naked?"
Yeah, that's valid.
That's really funny. Actually, that's a good. The way you wrote that's a good stinger
Yeah,
or good punchline.
yeah.
How does he actually say it? Just straight up, "Why are you always naked?"
Here, I'll read the quote. If this stops moving, it does not want me to.
No, just use the arrows.
We'll see. Here's more mail. Dear Sonic, why are you always naked? That was the direct quote.
Got it.
He was responding to someone that's...
I'm sorry. It's a person writing in. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't process that correctly. You're right. I thought it was Sonic going up to Tails and going, "Why are you always naked?"
Oh,
That'd be really fun. That'd be hilarious. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our non-binary pals. That is Sonic the Hedgehog, Archie comic number 2. Honestly, a worse comic than number 1. That's like the worst comic so far.
Out of the two?
Of the two. And the first one wasn't really a high bar, and I'm really sad about it.
I mean, the first one was at least... I mean, now, comparatively, the first one was like Schindler's List.
Because of the 2.
Yeah.
But with the Citizen Kane of Sonic Comics.
The Citizen Kane of Sonic Comics, yeah.
No. With the shot, the Shinji shot, the Evangelion shot in number 2.
I mean...
That's experimental.
Bad art can always have interesting things in it. That's why I'm a firm believer of watching bad art and good art.
Too much action, though. In the mainline stories, too much action.
Mm-hmm. This is they really John Wicked it up in the second issue.
No, it really is, though. Like, would you ever try writing a story?
No.
When you were a little kid, and it's like, but it just turned into like you're in 4th grade, and it's like, yeah, John did this, and then he went into the kitchen, and then he left with a knife, and then it's just action.
A lot of and thens.
Yeah, and thens. Yes.
Yeah, no. Most of the stories I wrote use the word coconut too much, which seems to be a running theme in my life. I don't know what
coconuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a bit.
Yeah. And that's issue number 2. Is there anything you'd like to plug, Dominic?
Actually, real quick, I do want to mention because I feel like we didn't talk about it. Was how
you run this podcast.
Coconuts, or like the freedom fighters sending the dislocated head.
Yeah. We did not talk about that. What a power move!
That's you're right.
Based act number 2 from Sonic.
Yeah, sending the head of like an enforcer.
To
the leaders.
I have no clue if I'm still in frame if I'm leaning back like that.
That's actually pretty awesome. I like that idea. I mean, it was great. I mean, you've seen The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shot where
no. I've never seen The Godfather.
You've never seen any movie in your life?
I've never seen any movie, man.
Do you own The Godfather?
Yeah, because the cover was pretty...
Is it the 3-box set?
It does have...
Or the 3-set box, yeah.
I think it's technically 4 movies. Because
with the special features.
It's got the Redux cut.
Oh.
I don't know what they named it because I've never seen the movie, but
the cannoli edition.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Something racist. No, it's someone's name. I forgot his name. Like Michael Corleone or something.
The character's name? Corleone? Okay.
Yeah, it's like that cut or something. I haven't seen Godfather in years, so
yeah.
It was one of those movies when I was like 10. My father was like, "What? You've never seen The Godfather?"
Same thing happened to me, honestly.
And I'm like, I'm fucking 10. What do you mean I haven't?
What is extortion? Why? Yeah. Why are they doing the setup? I don't understand what's happening.
And then I watched it.
It's organized crime.
I mean, I didn't watch it.
This is such a stupid ass bit.
I'm gonna keep it up, man.
No, don't do it.
I only watch TikToks. So the only movies for me.
I want you to be authentic right now. I want you to be real to yourself. Because right now you are saying you watch TikToks and you don't watch The Godfather, when the opposite is true. The opposite is true, you idiot.
Hi everyone, this is the portion of the podcast where we go ahead and read the user-submitted questions that you guys send in. We have a few. We're only going to read like 1 or 2 right now. Save some for later, and depending on how many questions we get, we might end up doing like a bulk episode, or I might drizzle them out throughout the episodes like we are right now. This is an evolving process, and we're going to evolve.
Dear Gotta Talk Fast, your podcast seems to have the momentum of a runaway freight train. Why are you so popular?
So
this is submitted by Mike F.
Gotcha.
Go ahead. Thank you, Mike F, for the question.
So our YouTube shorts have done tremendously well by our very low standards and expectations. Initially, I don't know if we ever discussed this, but I thought our shorts... This feels weird, by the way. We're literally like bragging about our success on episode 2, but whatever. It's a funny bit.
We didn't write the question. Mike F did.
That's true. So, yeah, I was expecting like 100 views on like the shorts at most over like a month. But first day, we got like 1.8 thousand views. So
okay, we can. I can just go ahead.
We don't need to brag that hard. We don't need to go that deep into it. But
we got a YouTube achievement of 1,000 views, which I guess YouTube have achievements now for your content creators.
A friend pointed this out to me. A friend pointed it out to me where it's like, yeah, actually no. My therapist pointed this out to me. It's like, yeah, it sounds like the Sonic. Look, man, this show's like one of the few things that I've got going, man. So of course I'm gonna tell her about it.
You could have kept it at fresh.
I gotta keep it professional. Gotta keep it professional.
Friend. A professional friend.
Yes. She said that it sounds like this is like a niche that people like are really into, and saying, you know what? I think the Sonic the Hedgehog community will band together. I think they'll like us. Because we're not really that into the Sonic the Hedgehog. We don't interact with the Sonic community all that much. We've always been very distant from it.
I'm a lurker.
Yeah, exactly. A lurker, very outside in. So I'm hoping we can be cool with the Sonic community, because I think the Sonic community is cool despite all the things that make it very, very, very funny.
Yeah, I'm actually full disclosure. I'm on the like official Sonic the Hedgehog Reddit Discord, which is very popular for
Reddit
Sonic
and
community,
Discord.
I think. Yeah. But I'm in there and I don't post. I normally just hang out and I read the conversations, which makes me feel really creepy. But hey, but I was like, hey, I finally have something to post, and then I was like, I feel like I'm like encroaching, so I'm not going to. If someone else posts, I'll gladly like chime and be like, hey, that's me. Let me know if you got any questions. But I don't think I'm gonna personally like be like, hey, this is my podcast, check it out.
No, don't do that. No, we specifically one of the things we discussed was like, hey, what's our like launch day stuff? And we were like, do we want to do posts in Sonic communities? But no, that would just be like barging in. We felt like that was very just crashing open the door and be like, we got a podcast, which is an immediate turnoff for us. So if we had been in those communities prior, I think we would have felt more comfortable. Like, hey, by the way, we have this podcast. We just started this podcast, but no. So we're definitely coming at it as outsiders, even though we've kept an eye on it basically my whole life. I know for sure. I remember Sonic Central. Do you remember the Sonic Central website?
I think that's the one. I used to read a lot of original comics, and I specifically remember like a Sonic and Amy sprite and Metal Sonic, and like crazy shit happens. I remember Sonic like fighting Metal Sonic in outer space on the moon or something.
Is this a
this is back when I was like 10 or 11. No, it was like 3. I feel like it was always like 3 panels, and it was very long, and it was all sprite based, all original sprites. I feel like, but very like obviously in the vein of the original Sonic, and very well made. That's my extent of getting really deep with Sonic community.
Yeah, it's honestly what we talked about.
Saying about Sonic Central.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sonic Central, which is a website where it was kind of surface level, but it would still it was like very hype as a kid for me to be like, hey, they're playing like select music from the games, but it was only snippets. Probably because the files couldn't be that big back then.
Yeah. I mean, also, we're probably like the boomers of the Sonic community also.
Exactly. It was like, hey, here's like monthly fan art that people sent in. And it was stuff like that, and like there was even like a frequently asked questions thing for like Sonic fans, and like someone pretending to be Sonic would write in, which is would answer the question. And it's very funny how like they're kind of doing that now with the Tales Tube series, where it's basically someone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The voice. I've explained this to you 3 times now. The voice actor or actress, the voice actor for Tales. Basically is a VTuber, and they are Tails. And do you remember me explaining this?
Yes, no, I specifically do. I just don't remember you calling it Tails Tube. And so when you said that was very.
This is such an advanced Yeah, we are such boomers. This is such an advanced content for you, concept for you.
I still don't understand VTubers. I've watched a VTuber stream, and I was like, this is a little intense for me.
It's for the anonymity. I think that's basically what it is.
Sure, it's more. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Next question, because this is turning into a second podcast within the podcast.
Yeah, well, that's what I always kind of expected these to turn into. Another email from Mike F. He seems to be a super fan.
Mike fan.
Yeah, big Sonic's probably his favorite kind of thing. You've been tasked to add a character to the expansive Sonic roster. What kind of animal do you go with?
I've got about 12 original characters, so I think
pre-made, just locked and loaded in the chamber.
No, I do remember tangent. I do remember reading an excellent guide. I should have copy pasted this to a Word document or something. It was an excellent guide on how to make a Sonic original character, and it was so good that it was like, this is just kind of making up any character at all.
Is that the I don't know if I found this with you or not, but I found it was with someone else. I found there was a tabletop RPG original character maker. So that you can do your own original tabletop campaign in the Sonic universe, which I actually, unironically, I was like, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to do this.
That sounds awesome. I distinctly remember it being a very long web page, which is probably gone now, lost to time. But it was so good that it was actually just explaining to me the basic concepts of character creation. But every now and then it would be like, it would give like examples purely through like Sonic lore or characters, and it's like don't like okay, what are your characters' weaknesses? Okay, don't say like family being hurt, because literally that's everyone. It's like, you know what, that's a very good point, and that taught me like be more specific and stuff like that. So to answer the question, what animal would it be, man? Do you go with normal, or do you go, or like something more common, let me say that, or do you go something like way out there? Have we had a platypus?
Well, I mean, there hasn't been a platypus yet, but it's very funny you say that, because I looked ahead to a single issue and it had a platypus in it.
Oh, okay.
So outside of that one issue, I literally don't know any other like characters.
Yeah. Not derogatory, but I am not a furry. But I just most identify with cats as an animal rather than dogs, at least. Let me say that. I don't identify with dogs too much, and even though I have a snake, I don't really identify with snakes.
What about cats do you relate to the most? Is it your cat-like reflexes, or
that and that, but also just like the laid-back nature?
Sure.
I guess, I don't know. It's like people always say that dogs are more energetic, which I think on the whole I get. But cats with zoomies? Dude, I totally identify with that. Absolutely. Again, let me say, I don't identify as
sometimes
a cat.
at 3 a.m. you want to just like dart around.
For real. No, I'm not. Let me say this. I'm not saying I identify as a cat. I'm just saying I like their personalities I kind of vibe with, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So, the basic bitch answer, honestly, has probably going to be cat, which I know is lame.
So, okay, that's what kind of animal you would add,
because
or what kind of animal you'd want to be in the Sonic?
This is something that document taught me, which is write what you know. Whether they said it explicitly,
I don't know. I'm not.
You got to write what you know, right?
I'm not an animal guy. I don't know animals.
But it's like, I closely vibe with cats the most, which is why I have them. So.
Okay, well, if it's going off of what I would vibe with the most, it'd be an otter. 100%.
Really? Why an otter?
I just think they're cute. I like their swimming abilities a lot. I like the fact that they find little pebbles and they hold on to them, and they hold hands when they sleep with their lovers.
Is that what you do? Walking down the street, just pick up a rock and be like,
yeah, no. I find a little creek and I lay down in it. And I just hold my hand out, hoping someone else would lay down with me, and no one ever does. Oh. It's a lonely existence. And I like the fact that they're like weirdly vicious. They'll fuck you up. Yeah. But if I'm choosing an animal that isn't me to go into the expansive Sonic roster, it's interesting because I feel like I would want. We're only on issue 2. Mm-hmm. And so like I only know like the core Sonic people from like the actual games, like Sonic, Amy, Shadow, blah blah blah. And I only know what we've seen here. And I know that weird platypus that I just happened to see. So I haven't seen anything like really big yet. And I think something like obnoxiously large I think would be kind of fun.
We already have Big the cat.
No, I mean bigger.
Oh, okay.
I want like Big the giraffe. I love Big the cat, by the way.
I know you
character. Yeah, and like giraffes are kind of weird and lanky, so I think it'd be like really fun to translate that into the Sonic universe. So it was either that or like an elephant or a camel or something, just something. Because everything is tiny, right? Everything's like a furry kind of rodent-esque character. So definitely something big. So I'm going with the giraffe. And he's got a beret. And he's got Berettas. I'm just making my OC now. Weakness, family, hurt.
No, don't do that.
Abilities. Everybody likes him. So if you think I'm funny, you want to hear more of my weird bits, You can come watch me every Tuesday and Thursday. I stream at...
Twitch.tv/Mojosaurus.
I was getting there.
Okay.
But yes, that is my moniker. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Central Time, best time?
Yeah. Do you have anything to plug here, Dominic?
Yes, Blue Collar Jazz. I go around Chicago and I kind of explore the local jazz scene, and there's a lot of great music out in the city. So, but anyway, that's what I'm doing.
Cue outro.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. 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 Gotta talk, gotta talk.